Beyond the Gates spoilers tease that Friday, July 11th, is not just another day in Fairmont Crest, it's a storm front crashing into lives already hanging by threads. Dani stands at the emotional center of it all, betrayed by the very man she believed was her safe harbor. Her secret lover, someone she had clung to in the quiet aftermath of her crumbled marriage, turns out to have been deceiving her all along. When she finds out, it's not through whispers or suspicions, but cold, undeniable proof. A text not meant for her, a photo from a friend who didn't know better, and everything she had believed about love collapses in one breath. Dani cries not out of weakness, but devastation. She had started to believe again. And now that belief is shattered, leaving her in a tailspin. Pamela Curtis, always the calm in Dani's emotional chaos, is there in the immediate aftermath. Pamela doesn't ask questions. She pours a drink, holds Dani, and says nothing until Dani finally speaks. Through choked tears, Dani confesses what even she hadn't said out loud before: she might be pregnant. The words hang in the air like a loaded gun. Pamela is silent, then asks the only question that matters: who's the father? And that's when Dani admits the truth she had buried under secrecy and guilt she doesn't know. In the haze of her pain, she'd gone back to her ex-husband, the one man who truly knew her darkness, even if he couldn't always handle it. But she had also been with her new boyfriend, the man she now knows is a liar. The timelines blur, and there's no simple answer. Only uncertainty. Meanwhile, chaos brews elsewhere. Nicole Richardson is boiling with fury. Publicly humiliated by Leslie Thomas, who called her marriage a joke and claimed Nicole was destined for loneliness, Nicole does what any hot-blooded woman with too much pride and not enough patience might do: she attacks. The confrontation escalates quickly, a screaming match in the middle of town that ends with Nicole throwing the first punch. Leslie fights back. It's a brawl that draws a crowd and eventually the cops. Nicole ends up in custody, humiliated and vengeful. Her release comes quietly, but her rage doesn't fade. If anything, it festers. Nicole has money, and money buys secrets. She hires a private investigator, someone discreet and cutthroat, with one mission: dig up every skeleton in Leslie's closet. And what comes back isn't just dirt. It's a ticking bomb. Evidence, or at least compelling suspicion, ties Leslie to a car accident involving Laura, an accident that may not have been accidental at all. And if that wasn't enough, rumors whisper that Leslie might have tried to finish what she started in Laura's hospital room. Suddenly, Leslie isn't just an enemy. She's a potential criminal. But the war isn't just between Nicole and Leslie. Another battlefield opens up between Catherine "Cat" Richardson and Eva Thomas, Leslie's daughter. Old grudges flare into fresh violence when Eva steps into Cat's professional shoes at Ted Richardson's firm. Cat sees it not just as betrayal, but a slap in the face from her own father. The fact that Ted didn't even warn her stings more than she's willing to admit. When Cat confronts Ted, the conversation starts calm but spirals into accusations. Ted says Eva earned the position. Cat counters that family should come first. Ted, tired and frustrated, tells Cat she needs to get her act together. The words cut deeper than intended. Cat storms out, her pride in shambles. Still fuming, Cat goes to see Chelsea Hamilton. Chelsea, perceptive as ever, notices the tension in Cat's voice, her defensive body language, the clipped responses. But Chelsea doesn't push. Instead, she brings up her new handbag project, a line she's been developing for months, and asks Cat if she wants in as a creative partner. Cat agrees almost immediately. She needs something to distract her, something to ground her. With her job gone and her family ties strained, the handbag project feels like salvation in disguise. But Fairmont Crest doesn't sleep. Dani, torn and exhausted, decides she can't face the future blind. She needs answers. And the only way to get them is to confront the past. She reaches out to Ashley Morgan, discreetly arranging a meeting. It's a risk, but a necessary one. Ashley, it turns out, is also tangled in Andre Richardson's web of charm and deceit. The two women, once rivals in secrecy, now stand united in betrayal. The meeting is tense at first. Trust is fragile. But the more they share, the more they realize Andre played them both. He told them the same lies, made the same promises, even gave them the same bracelet. Fury replaces heartbreak. Together, they form an unlikely alliance. Not for justice, but revenge. If Andre wants to manipulate women like pawns, Danny and Ashley are ready to flip the board. In the backdrop, Fairmont Crest vibrates with unrest. Gossip spreads like fire. Kat and Eva's fight goes viral, a chaotic clash in the office captured by a lurking intern's phone. Ted is livid. Not just because of the bad press, but because his own daughters are dragging his name through the mud. He calls a family meeting. Kat refuses to come. Eva arrives late and leaves early. The family is cracking and everyone feels it. Nicole, now armed with damning info on Leslie, plots her next move carefully. She wants maximum damage. Public exposure. Maybe even legal consequences. She prepares a file of documents, testimonies, timestamps, and anonymous tips. But she also knows she must play her hand at the right moment. Leslie, meanwhile, senses the walls closing in. Her usual confidence is replaced by paranoia. She knows someone is coming for her, she just doesn't know who. The energy in Fairmont Crest shifts. Everyone is hiding something. Everyone is watching their backs. Pamela begins to worry about Danny, who is now consumed by the war against Andre. Danny's pregnancy remains unresolved. She hasn't gone to the doctor. She hasn't told her ex. She hasn't told Andre. Deep down, she fears what it means. A child could tether her forever to a man she despises, or reconnect her to the man she once loved but no longer trusts. The clock is ticking and decisions loom large. Chelsea, now deep into handbag prototypes, notices Kat pulling away. She gently brings it up one afternoon, asking Kat if she's really invested or just avoiding something else. Kat lies, saying she's focused. But Chelsea doesn't believe her. She watches as Kat checks her phone obsessively, likely waiting for a call from her father, or maybe from Eva. Kat won't admit it, but the fight has left scars. Eva, too, is shaken. She may have won the job, but the cost was her reputation and peace of mind. The office is divided. Some back Kat. Others support Eva. No one is neutral. She tries to talk to her mother, but Leslie is distracted, consumed with her own looming downfall. Eva, feeling abandoned, lashes out in small ways. She cuts corners at work, snaps at interns, tries to reclaim control, but it's slipping. And beneath it all, there is something brewing. A tension that cuts through every room, every conversation. Fairmont Crest is not just unraveling, it's about to explode. Friday night stretches long over Fairmont Crest like a curtain waiting to be pulled back on something no one wants to see. Danny lies awake, hand resting unconsciously on her abdomen, thoughts racing. The silence in her apartment is overwhelming. She replays every word Andre said to her, every smile that now feels false, every moment that seemed real but was built on sand. Her phone buzzes once. It's Ashley. Just a simple message, I have something. Call me. They meet again, this time in Ashley's apartment, away from curious eyes. Ashley has been digging through Andre's life like a crime scene, and what she's found confirms what they both feared. Andre's manipulations aren't limited to them. There are texts, photographs, even financial statements linking him to at least one other woman, someone who might be pregnant too. Danny's breath catches. She's not just another affair. She might be part of a pattern. Suddenly, her situation isn't about betrayal. It's about self-preservation. Ashley proposes a plan. Not just to confront Andre, but to dismantle his carefully constructed image. While Danny gears up for that confrontation, Nicole Richardson is already knee-deep in hers. She watches from her window as the private investigator delivers the final file. Inside are police reports, unsealed documents, even a hospital staff member's statement suggesting Leslie had been seen near Laura's room the night of the attempted overdose. Nicole knows she can't go to the police directly, not yet. She needs to break Leslie in public first. She schedules a press event under the guise of launching a charity. The guest list includes every socialite, journalist, and influencer in a 50-mile radius. Leslie receives an invitation in Boston gold. She attends, unaware that it's her own reputation being prepped for execution. As Nicole smiles on stage, thanking guests and donors, she signals her assistant, who projects a short documentary on the screen behind her. It starts with Laura's accident. It ends with Leslie's hospital visit. The murmurs in the room grow louder. Leslie storms out, visibly shaken. Her empire, built on image and intimidation, is cracking. The next morning, a subpoena arrives on Leslie's doorstep. Eva hears the news in the worst possible way. A coworker hands her a gossip blog article during a staff meeting. She rushes out of the building and finds her mother pacing, muttering to herself. Eva tries to help, but Leslie is unhinged, irrational, consumed by a need to control the narrative. When Eva suggests laying low, Leslie explodes, accusing her of disloyalty. Eva slams the door and doesn't look back. At the Richardson estate, Kat watches all of this unfold through her social feeds. A part of her enjoys seeing Eva's world collapse. But it also reignites something dark. She knows Eva's vulnerable now, which makes her dangerous. Kat visits Chelsea and brings a bottle of wine. They toast to the success of the handbag project, but Kat's mind isn't on handbags. It's on revenge. Later that week, Kat accidentally runs into Eva at the local art gallery. Tension crackles. Kat comments on Eva's outfit, dripping with sarcasm. Eva counters with a snide remark about Kat's unemployment. Within minutes, they're screaming. A security guard tries to separate them, but not before Kat throws a glass of champagne in Eva's face. The incident makes local news. Ted Richardson has had enough. He calls both daughters into his office. He yells for the first time in years, pounding the desk, demanding professionalism. Eva blames Kat. Kat blames Eva. Ted tells them both to leave. The firm is bigger than family, and he won't let their drama destroy it. Kat is cut off financially. Eva is put on probation. Neither wins. Chelsea steps in with perfect timing. She offers Kat a leadership role in the handbag line, one that gives her independence and status. Kat throws herself into the project, designing fiercely, attending every meeting. She wants to prove she doesn't need Ted, or his firm, or his approval. Danny, meanwhile, finally faces Andre. She lures him into a trop of fake dinner invite, a private rooftop, and Ashley waiting in the shadows with a recorder. Danny doesn't waste time. She confronts him with every lie, every overlap in timelines, every other woman. Andre tries to charm his way out, but Danny has changed. She plays the recording aloud, and when he realizes he's been caught, his mask drops. He lashes out verbally, cruel and bitter. That's when Ashley steps forward. Together, they deliver the final blow, a threat to go public with everything unless he disappears. They don't want hush money. They want him gone. Andre leaves town within the week, his reputation in ruins. But Danny isn't done. The pregnancy hangs over her like a ghost. She finally visits the clinic alone. The doctor confirms what she already knew. The baby is healthy. But paternity remains a mystery. Her ex-husband has reached out, sensing something is wrong. She agrees to meet him. Their conversation is quiet, filled with pauses. He says he still cares. She tells him the truth. He listens, then says something she didn't expect. We can raise the child together, no matter what. Pamela supports her either way. They sit on the porch that night, watching fireflies, not speaking. Sometimes silence is comfort. Sometimes it says more than advice ever could. Nicole, now the talk of Fairmont Crest for her takedown of Leslie, finds herself in a new kind of spotlight. People admire her boldness. She gets interview requests, sponsorship deals, offers from advocacy groups. But the victory feels hollow. Laura hasn't spoken to her since the documentary. Nicole tracks her down and finds her recovering in a private facility. The reunion is emotional. Laura forgives her, not just for the public spectacle, but for years of distance. They rebuild slowly, awkwardly, but honestly. Leslie, on the other hand, is unraveling. The legal storm is just beginning. A grand jury is convened. Witnesses are called. Her lawyers are confident, but she isn't. Alone in her mansion, she drinks too much, speaks to no one, and watches as her kingdom turns to ash. Eva, suspended and isolated, starts her own project. A podcast about women and power. She invites controversial guests, speaks candidly about her own mistakes, and builds a surprising following. She may be bruised, but she isn't broken. And through it all, she avoids Kat. Kat, with Chelsea's help, launches their first handbag collection at a high-end boutique. The event is packed. Influencers post photos. Orders flood in. For the first time, Kat feels proud of something that is entirely hers. She doesn't need validation. She needs momentum, and she has it now. Ashley moves on quickly. She transfers jobs, switches apartments, and starts dating someone new. But she never forgets what she and Danny did. She keeps a copy of the recording just in case. As the summer ends, Fairmont Crest is quieter but not calm. Alliances have shifted. Secrets have surfaced. And beneath the peaceful facade, everyone is waiting for the next storm. Because in this town, peace never lasts long. The final storm doesn't strike with thunder, it creeps in slowly, disguised as clarity. Danny receives a call from the clinic. The paternity test she had requested has arrived. It's her ex-husband. Relief and fear mix in her chest. She meets him at the park, hands him the results. He reads them quietly, then hugs her tightly. "We're going to do this," he says. Danny finally exhales. Not everything is perfect, but it's hers now. Her story. Her child. Her choice. Meanwhile, Nicole's lawsuit against Leslie takes a decisive turn. The court finds enough evidence for formal charges. Leslie is arraigned. Her mugshot flashes across every local screen. She posts bail, but her public life is over. Nicole doesn't celebrate. She visits Laura, who is starting to walk again, and they talk about the future. Maybe a foundation. Maybe just peace. Eva's podcast gets picked up by a major platform. Her episode about surviving legacy, about being the daughter of a woman accused of attempted murder, goes viral. Kat hears it, and for the first time, understands her sister's pain. She sends Eva a note. No apologies, just a quote. "Some roots are shared, even in broken soil." Eva doesn't respond. Not yet. But she doesn't throw the note away. Kat's handbags sell out. Chelsea wants to expand to LA. Kat agrees. She needs a fresh start. Before leaving, she meets with Ted. They don't fix everything, but they shake hands. It's enough. Ashley moves cities. A clean break. She sends Danny one last message. "Whatever happens, you were brave." Danny replies with a photo of the ultrasound. And as Fairmont Crest braces for fall, there's no grand finale, just quiet resolutions. No fireworks. Just people standing in their truths, rebuilding from the wreckage. And for once, that's enough.